Good morning everyone, I am Jerome Simeon and I am here today to discuss to you therapeutic modality. Activities in therapeutic community modality. The therapeutic community modality provides a well-defined structure for synchronized and focused implementation of the various intervention strategies in the activities such as individual and group counseling. This activity intends to assist the clients in trying to sort out their problems, identify solutions, reconcile conflicts, and help resolve them. This could be done either by individual or group interaction with the officer of the assigned agency. Moral and spiritual values formation. Seminars, lectures, or training offered or arranged by the design agency comprise these rehabilitation activities. Active NGOs, school, civic, and religious organizations are tapped to facilitate the activities. Work or job placements referral. Categorized as an informal program wherein client is referred for work or job placement through the officer's own personal efforts, contact, or information. Vocational livelihood and skills training. The program includes the setting up of seminars and skills training classes like food probation and processing, candle making, novelty items, and handicraft making, etc. And technical trade classes are available such as refrigeration, automotive mechanics, radio television, and electronics repairs, tailoring, dressmaking, basic computer training, etc. Through coordination with local barangays, parish centers, schools, and civic organizations. Health, mental, and medical services. To address some of the basic needs of clients and their families, medical missions are organized to provide various forms of medical and health services including physical examination and treatment, free medicines and vitamins, dental examinations and treatment, drug dependency tests, and laboratory examination. Psychological testing and evaluation as well as psychiatric treatment are likewise provided for by the agency clinical services division, and if not possible, by reasons of distance, referrals are made to other government accredited institutions. Literacy and education. In coordination with LGO programs, adult education classes are available to help clients learn basic writing, reading, and arithmetic. Likewise, literacy teachings during any sessions conducted for clients become part of the module. This is particularly intended for clients who are no read no write to help them become functionally literate. Likewise, linkage with educational foundation, other GOs and NGOs are regularly done for free school supplies, bags, uniforms for client, children, and relatives. Community service. This program refers to the services in the community rendered by clients for the benefit of society. It includes tree planting, beautification drives, cleaning and greening of surroundings, maintenance of public parks and places, garbage collections, blood donations, and similar socio-civic activities. Client self-help organization. This program takes the form of cooperatives and client association wherein the clients form cooperative and association as an economic group to venture on small-scale projects. Similarly, clients associations serve another purpose by providing some structures to live of clients where they relearn basics of working within group with hierarchy, authority, and responsibility, much like in the bigger society. Payment of civil liability. The payment of civil liability or indemnification to victims of offenders are pursued despite the economic status of clients. Payments of obligation to the victim instill the minds of the clients their responsibility and the consequence of the harm they inflicted to others. Environment and ecology awareness programs. To instill awareness and concerns in preserving ecological balance and environmental health, seminars, lectures are conducted wherein clients participate. These seminars lectures tackle anti-smoke, belching campaigns, organic farming, waste management, segregation and disposal, and proper care of the environment. Sports and physical fitness. Activities that provide physical exertion like sports, games in group by play are conducted to enhance the physical well-being of clients. Friendly competition of clients from the various offices of the sectors, together with the officers, provide the enjoyable and helpful respite. Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. The Bureau of Jail Management and Penology was created to address growing concern of jail management and penology problem as one of the 5 pillars of the criminal justice system. It referred to as the Jail Bureau and is created initially consisting of officers and uniformed members of jail management and penology services as constituted under the Presidential Decree number 765. Its clients are detainees accused before a court who are temporarily confined in such jails while undergoing investigation, waiting final judgment in those who are serving sentences promulgated by the court 3 years and below. Mandates and functions of BJMP. The BJMP is mandated to direct, supervise, control the administration and operation of all district, city and municipal jail nationwide with prompt task of safekeeping and development of PDLs. It exercises in administrative and operation jurisdiction over all districts. City and municipal jails, it is a line bureau of the Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG. As such, the bureau ensures the following: the establishment of secure, clean, adequately equipped sanitary facilities, the provision of quality services for the custody, safekeeping, rehabilitation, development of district, city, and municipal inmates. The following are the functions of BJMP rooted from their missions. Number 1. Formulate policies, guidelines in the administration of all districts, city, and municipal jails nationwide. Number 2. Implement strong security seizures for the control of PDL. Number 3. Provide for the basic needs of the PDL. Number 4. Conduct activities for the development of PDL. Number 5. Improve jail facilities and promote the general welfare and development of personnel. Provision of basic needs. All PDLs under custody are provided with 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and supper. Adequate supply of potable water is made available to them at all times. Likewise, upon admission, each PDL is issued his or her PDL uniform, consisting of the yellow shirt and brown jogging pants. Hygiene kits are also distributed to the PDL on a monthly or quarterly basis. Health services. Health services for PDL consist of interventions toward the prevention, promotion, treatment of illness, and rehabilitation. All PDL undergoes medical assessment upon admission. During confinement, PDL are provided with a health education and counseling, medical consultation, regular health monitoring, and provided medicine subject to availability. Educational program. The educational program aims to provide opportunities for PDL to achieve mandatory education. BJMP adopted the alternative learning system of the Department of the Education for the PDL to earn their elementary and high school diplomas. Teacher in the jail base ALS are BJMP. Personnel who are professional teachers and trained on the instructional method for ALS. All PDLs enrolled in the ALS earn their respective time allowance for teaching, studying, and mentoring. Skills Training Enhancement Program. The objective of the skills training program is to equip the PDL with technical vocational skill which they can use in seeking employment or starting their own business after release from confinement. To make the PDL as competitive as other potential job seekers, the skills training prepared are those accredited by the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, so that the PDL will be able to earn national certifications. Livelihood Program. The Livelihood Program presents income-generating activities to PDL during their confinement where they are able to earn for their personal upkeep and for financial support to their families. The capital for the Livelihood Project is either from BJMP for BJMP funded projects or from the common fund of a group of PDL for non-BJMP funded projects. To help the PDL earn from these livelihood projects, the Jail Unit Welfare and Development Officer facilitates the sale of the products in display centers or livelihood caravans, organized by the local governments, units, and other services providers. Behavioral Management Modification Program. BGMP implements the Therapeutic Community Modality Program to manage and modify behaviors of PDL with the goal of positively changing their thinking and behavior through structured growth processes. Interfaith Program. PDL are provided with the opportunity to practice their faith while under custody without discrimination, subjects only to usual safety and security measures. The BJMP chaplains and provide different religious services such as but not limited to mass celebration, communal prayers, spiritual counseling, catechism, and others. Cultural and Sports Program. The cultural program aims to promote camaraderie among PDL, encourage the development of self-confidence, and sharing of cultural talents as a form of positive entertainment. Cultural activities allowed in jails includes dance, singing, theater, drama, art workshops. Paralegal Program. The main objective of the paralegal program is to address the overcrowding in jail facilities. Through the paralegal program, PDL are assisted in availing of different early modes of release. Regional and jail paralegal officer conduct continuous informative seminars, orientation to PDL on their rights, modes of early release, and other paralegal legal remedies which can be availed of by them. Components of Therapeutic Community Modality Program. The Therapeutic Community Modality Program of BGMP has four interconnected development aspects: behavior management, emotional and psychological, intellectual and spiritual, and vocational and survival skills. They are special areas of concern and the individuals of personality. Each component has every discrete sets of activities, methodologies, and philosophies and underlying theories that help promote change in the members of the community, and the use of various behavior shaping tools are interrelated with another BGMP officer. Behavior Management and Aspect and TCMP. Behavior management refers to a class of therapeutic techniques for altering behavior by changing one or more aspect of an individual's environment. It means any intervention or treatment that utilize positive reinforcement and or restriction to help an individual receiving services to develop and or strengthen recovery-oriented behaviors and to address correct treatment-targeted behaviors. The aspects that are changed are those believed to contribute most significantly to the occurrence or maintenance of behavior that are problematic for the individual himself or herself or for other individuals in the environment. Environmental changes are also made for the purpose of increasing positive behavior that are considered desirable or adaptive. The, the, the behavior management is a component of therapeutic community modality that introduces the concept and mechanics of the various shaping tools in order to facilitate the management of the behavior of the residents. These behavior shaping tools provide the community common language, increases cohesiveness, and adapt to the moral and behavioral code of the tool's application. They are also ordered in hierarchy to provide enough room for personal growth and learning. The community serves as dynamic force that motivates the individual to achieve positive behavior change. Morning meeting. It is a daily ritual that starts the day in a therapeutic community facility. It is attended by the whole community and lasts for an hour. It is divided into two parts, namely public announcement and community concerns, into community spirit building or up rituals. Major behavior shaping tools. They were developed as a means that correct behavior of the residents that violated the TC norms. Talk 2. It is a friendly reminder given by a superior member and peer to a young member conducted in a private and a formal manner. Pull up. It encourages honesty, misdemeanor awareness, and owning up to one's mistakes. It is done with the violator is unknown and must be validated first prior to bringing up in the morning meeting. Deal with. It is a form of verbal reprimand given privately by a senior member in two pairs for recurrent behavior. Haircut. It is a ritualistic and highly structured verbal reprimand that is delivered by staff or peers. Learning experience and bans. It is a form of restitution for persistent non-compliance with community expectation. It is geared toward achieving target behavior or attitude. Bans are containment action that limit certain privileges to all or portion of the community for major breakdowns in house structure. General meeting. It is called and led by senior member of the staff, usually the director of the facility, to deal with the repeated breach to the cardinal rules. Community spirit building or up rituals. The second part of the meeting consists of entertaining presentations to lighten up the mood and start the day on a positive note. It somehow develops some talents and sheds of inhibitions of participants. Structure of morning meeting. Community announcement and concerns. Opening prayer, singing of the Philippine National Anthem, PC philosophy, announcement, staff director, residence coordination, and other. First level, talk to. It is an outright correction done by any member of TC community to another member who has done a minor infraction but is not aware of it. It is a friendly reminder, advice about unacceptable behavior and must be done privately. During a talk to, the resident is made aware of his or her negative behavior and the result it may have on others and the environment. The feedback given to the resident who committed the mistake is done in a positive way. Second level, pull-up. A pull-up is done as a result of lack, miss or lapses and awareness in a resident. All the minors of the community are responsible to pull up minor infractions done by peers. It encourages honesty, demeanor, awareness, and owning up to one's mistakes. This is done when the violator is unknown. It must be validated first prior to bringing up in the morning meeting. The resident receiving the pull-up is expected to listen without saying a word. Assume that it is valid, quickly display the corrected behavior, and express gratitude in receiving it. After one member did the pull-up, other residents who wants to show concerns can make elaboration to give emphasis to the infractions and concretize the admonitions that need to be relayed to the violator. To the three elaborations are ideal. In the event wherein no one stood in own up to a negative behavior raised in the pull-up, the residents doing the pull-up will narrow down the pull-up to make it clear and specific, stating the place and time of the occurrence. Third level, deal with. Deal with is done with negative behaviors or infractions to the house rules or norms are done for the second time of the same offense by a resident. A panel of 3, composed of senior residents, peer, and friend are tasked to deliver a serious and stern reprimand to the subject resident. Although the tool does not strictly require presence of the staff, to attain its purpose, the staff should monitor its conduct to ensure that the panel assigned to the task really acted appropriately. It is done privately in a room or an area with no one else hearing a conversation. Fourth level, haircut. Haircut is done when negative behaviors or infractions to the house rules and norms in the same offense done for the third time or more, or for first time grave offenses. It is carefully planned and structured verbal reprimand given by a staff with 4 other residents, senior residents, peer, big brother, and department head. The tone is more serious and can be loud, more harsh, and exaggerated in order to induce anxiety and eventually change the person's behavior. Before the group calls in the person that they will discuss among themselves the order of the speakers, how intense the haircut will be, and what sanctions will be given, if any. The resident is then called inside and waits until he is asked to sit. He will be asked if he knows the reason for his appearance. After the person responds, he will be asked to sit and remain silent to enable him or her to absorb all advices. The haircut gives emphasis on the behavior of the resident, and the severity of the haircut should be appropriate to the gravity of the offense. Fifth level, learning experience. A learning experience is an action or activity given to a resident who was subjected to haircut or general meeting who did an infraction to correct or modify behaviors. It may be task-oriented, written task, or peer interaction. Its intent is not to stigmatize the person but to motivate him to make restitutions for the wrongdoings he committed and redeem himself in the community. This will develop sense of responsibility on him while stressing his inadequacies. Sixth level, general meeting. A repeated breach to the cardinal rules necessitates a general meeting. The issue is discussed with the community to point out to the violator the negative effect the behavior had on the community. The offenses include sexual acting out with a fellow residents, taking drugs and engaging in physical fights with another residents. Other facilities include stealing or even smoking as part of the cardinal rules. Procedure in general meeting. A general meeting is called and led by senior member of the staff, usually the director of the facility. The extent of the problem is assessed to determine who among the community members are involved in the incident. Those guilty of the offenses are asked to sit in a prospect chair. This is to arouse anxiety and dissonance. The director sets the tone of the meeting and leads the community in an open expression of opinions and feelings regarding the offense brought out into the community. He holds the community accountable for the sleep of its members as each is considered his brother keepers. The director opens the floor for feedback, inviting the community for self-reflection and accountability. As soon as the mood is set and the level of awareness of the community is raised, the leader calls for the violators to face the entire community. The leader encourages the community to express their feelings about the offense committed by the violators. After some members of the community have expressed their feelings, it is time for the violators to account for what they did, share their deepest feelings, and verbalize what they learned from the mistake. After the violators made their statement and offer commitments, the director will mark the closure of the issue and allow for processing of the events that's transpired and provide appropriate emotional support to the violators who have just been subjected to intense emotional experience. Expulsion. In extreme cases, when a resident is incorrigible and become the threat to the community, the director, with the recommendation of the disciplinary board, may transfer him or her to the nearest jail facility with an appropriate court order. Emotional and psychological aspect of the therapeutic community. Persons deprived of liberty are basically psychologically and emotionally challenged, being incarcerated with uncertainties as to of their individual cases makes them feel as isolated. Helpless times, hopeless brought about by separation from their loved ones, society in general, and all other issues that confront them. While this emotional turmoil needs to be addressed to help back and experience a life of normality despite their uniqueness. What is counseling? Counseling is defined as a professional activity of helping individuals, groups, or communities enhance or restore their capacity for psychological, emotional, and social functioning, creating an environment favorable for the attainment of these goals. Skills and characteristics of counseling. According to the BGMP Therapeutic Community Model Program Manual, the skills and characteristics of counseling used on the TCMP are: number 1, empathy. This refers to the ability to perceive the client's feelings and to demonstrate accurate perceptions of the clients. It is putting oneself in the client's shoes. When the client feels understood, a sense of trust or rapport is developed. Rapport paves the way to a more meaningful communication and may enable the clients to understand and accept more of his or her complexity or feelings. Number 2, warmth. It is also known as unconditional positive regard. It involves accepting and caring about the clients as a person, regardless of any evaluation or prejudice on the client's behavioral or thoughts. It is most often covered through our nonverbal behavior or bodily gestures. Respect. It refers to the belief in the client's ability to make appropriate decisions and deal appropriate with his or her life situation. When given a safe and supportive environment in which to do so, it is often shown best by not offering advice or cheap comfort. The counselor shows his utmost respect to the client by listening in silence and giving him the opportunity to design his own solution to the problem. A similar term for this is empowerment, as the counselor likewise demonstrates that he values integrity of the client. And that's all. Thank you.